Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm, and I'm home from work today. It's about a week and a half before Christmas, and I am just, getting some of the stuff done, decorations and things, wrapping and starting some baking. And one of the things I decided to start is Amish Friendship Bread Starter, so I can have some of the bread for Christmas Eve and Christmas morning. I have not made this in years and years, like high school, college. It was a real popular thing in the area. Mom kept getting it from her ceramic students and neighbors were sharing it. And you keep feeding it, and it's kind of like a sourdough starter, but with yeast to start it. It's not naturally gathered yeast. So it's fun, and you can do a lot with it. You can freeze it. You can make baked goods and freeze. But what fascinated me is about a year ago, I started doing some research on it when I had this idea. And it's not just sweetbreads anymore. No. It's windy here. I'm sorry if that's the vent flapping. Apologize. But I digress. It's not just sweetbreads. You can do garlic bread. There's a tomato basil bread. There's rolls. There's garlic bread. There's scones. There's pancakes. There's cakes. There's so many savory and sweet ways of using it, and I just thought this would be really fun to experiment with. I eventually want to do regular sourdough, but I figured this is kind of a fun way to step into it. And to make the starter is a 10-day process, so today's gonna be my day one. And it's very simple, very easy. You can start yours at home now too, and we can be doing this together. And at the end of 10 days, you do your baking, you can share some of your starter, you can even freeze the starter, and then you start it for another 10-day process. So it's a fun thing. It can, when it was just sweetbreads, it ended up being too much after, a few 10-day cycles. 6 weeks into it's like, we had enough. But I'm fascinated now that there's so many different things I can do. Like, I want to do hamburger buns. I'm gonna do some different things that are not just sweetbread. Although sweetbread's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. So today's my day one. I'm going to start the process. I will have the directions all down below. I'd love to have you join in. If you do this, let me know. And if any recipes you have, I have a whole bunch that I want to try. And I'd love to have you come along for this journey. We can be, friends doing this together. Okay, you have to use plastic, glass, or ceramic bowls and utensils. You can use a Ziploc bag. My Ziploc bags, I discovered, were gone. My husband, with hunting season, used all my gallon ones. But gallon Ziploc bags work great, and I will probably switch to that down the road. But today I wanted to get my starter going, so plastic bowl it is. Now I have the equivalent of 1 packet of yeast here in a 1/4 cup of warm water. And so I buy my yeast in bulk, so it's like 2.5 teaspoons of it. Now what we have to do first is, in this bowl, we're gonna combine 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of sugar. So 1 cup of flour. Now, just like sourdough, you're gonna have to feed this. And it's gonna grow. Well, hopefully I'm successful with doing that. Here's 1 cup of sugar. We're gonna mix this together. And this is really fun if you have kids too. Like, I want to put it in the plastic bag because I think my granddaughter will have fun squishing it. In fact, you know what? I'm probably going to end up giving them some starter of their own. So that will be fun. So now we're going to stir in 1 cup of milk and our yeast, which has dissolved and gotten a little bubbly. And this is the only time we add yeast in this process. It won't be added again. So we're just going to stir this together till it's not powdery anymore. And then we have to cover it loosely. And you want it to stand at room temperature. And making sure there's no big pockets of flour in the bottom. This is where the plastic bag is handy because you can squish it. Just make sure you get a good bag that ziplocks well, or you might have a big mess. I have a lid. I'm not gonna put it down tight. I'm just gonna put it on one side and then it will be vented. If you're gonna put a lid on tight or your Ziploc bag, you're gonna wanna keep an eye out so you can vent it and let the gases escape. So I just put that over there on the stove for now. And we're gonna let it do its thing. And I'm gonna bring you over here and I'm gonna talk to you about the process and some of the recipes that I found, and let me know if you've ever made it before. So what happens now is this is day 1, day 2, 3, and 4. So 3 days in a row, actually day 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to either mash the bag or just give a stir if you have it in a bowl. On day 6, you're gonna add 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of milk. And mix it up again. Then day 7, 8, and 9, you mash it up again. And then on day 10 is when we divide it up, and there's a whole series of instructions then, like, how much you save to do recipes and how much you save to give away or cook more, bake more items. But when I was doing all my research on this, I found a really cool website. I'm going to put the link down below because if you're interested in Amish Friendship Bread, it's a great site. It's called friendshipbreadkitchen.com. And she has like over 200 recipes. And I found so many other recipes too that I want to try. So I'm excited to do this. I'm going to have the directions down below. Let me know if you're going to do it too. And I will... Like I said, I'll update you for what I do every day and show you. And then, as I add the extra ingredients, and then on day 10, I will video what I do and what I'm gonna make. So I'm really excited to start this journey. Like I said, a year ago, I started saving these recipes. Like it's a little over a year now. I just thought this would be something fun to do. And then life and work got crazy and I didn't do it last year, but I'm gonna do it this year. I'm doing it. So thank you so much for joining me. And if you want to see more of these recipes and videos on Amish Friendship Bread, like this video and comment. It will really help me to know. And otherwise, I'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.